Time to head to Scotland for this one as we take a look at the preschool series Balamory. The very popular series that had over 250 episodes over 4 years from 2002. There was a bunch of different characters throughout the show, so let's meet them. First up is Miss Hooley. She is the main character and is the nursery school teacher. Next up we have Archie, who is the inventor and lives in a pink castle. Now we have Josie Jump, who is a fitness instructor and lives in the yellow house. Next we have PC Plum, who is the police officer. Now we have Spencer, who is a painter and lives in the orange house. Now we have Edie McCready, who is the bus driver. Finally we have Susie Sweet and Penny Pocket, who run the cafe together. Now that we have met everyone, let's look at some episodes. First up we have Wheelie Day. Miss Hooley heads into the cafe as she sees Penny and Susie. She talks to Susie to tell it's a sunny day. Miss Hooley goes into the cafe as she greets the viewer. She sees a poster for the car rally. She tells us all about the car rally as we suddenly jump into song. Miss Hooley sings about it being a play day. Susie comes back in to give Miss Hooley a drink as Susie then boasts that she is in charge of the car park. Josie comes in as she was looking for Miss Hooley. Josie explains she is in charge of the wheelie event as Susie goes off. Josie doesn't know if she will be loud enough over the engines, so Miss Hooley suggests going to go see Archie. Josie then starts singing about the different colored houses. We head to Archie's castle as Josie shows off her basketball skills. Josie then pleads with Archie for some invention so she can be heard over the engines. Archie gives her some silly hat as Josie puts it on and tests it. We head back to the cafe as Josie comes in and shows off her hat. She starts to practice as Miss Hooley doesn't know what she is on about. She stops her as Josie is confused. Miss Hooley suggests going to see Penny as we then get Penny's song. She sings about organizing as the catchy song goes on and on. Josie goes to see Penny as Josie does a recap of everything that has happened so far. Penny then gives out her advice as Penny says to list it all out as she gives an example. Josie understands as she then directs Penny around the shop as she practices how to give out the right instructions. It all goes to chaos as Penny gets confused. Josie tries again as everything goes more smoothly this time. We head to the relay race as Josie then starts the race as the children head off. Susie is still directing the cars as they give out the medals to the kids. Everyone celebrates as Josie then thanks Miss Hooley and Penny. Miss Hooley then wraps up by giving us another recap of the day. She heads off as the episode ends. Next, we have 5-a-side. Miss Hooley heads into the cafe once more as she sees Penny. She tells her it's a wet day as she heads into the cafe once more. She spots us once more as she sees some oranges. She then tells us it is another play day in Balamory as she breaks out in the same song as before. She watches some kids playing as Susie then turns up as she asks what the kids are doing. They say they are playing football. Susie tells them to get outside, but Miss Hooley reminds her it's raining outside. Miss Hooley says the kids can go to the sports hall to play some 5-a-side. Susie then asks what is 5-a-side as Miss Hooley then explains what it is. Susie then starts counting everyone who wants to play as they only get up to 8. Susie suggests Archie's cousins as she then heads to the castle to see Archie. But before that, we have a little sing-song about the colored houses once more. Archie is working out as Susie then charges in and says come join our football team. Archie says his cousins would love to join, but Susie can't stick around as she says she has all 10 players, but Archie then says she needs a referee as Susie thinks about Josie. She dashes off to find Josie as Josie is on her balcony doing some rugby. Susie comes up to ask her, but Josie says she needs to get her ball as she barges past her. We head outside as Josie finds the ball. Susie then asks her if she wants to be the referee, but she then admits she has a rugby match on. Susie can't believe it. Josie suggests Penny as Penny's song starts once more. Susie returns to the cafe as Penny says everyone is here. Susie then gives a recap as she then asks Penny to referee the game. Penny says what about the shop as Susie says no one will be here as Penny then agrees. Susie gets her a whistle as they head into the cafe to tell everyone the game is on. The game is on as everyone is trying to score as it's a crazy game. The first half ends as Susie comes out with some food as Penny tells the score. They all eat up as the second half gets underway. Miss Hooley gets in trouble as the game comes to an end. Miss Hooley heads back to the cafe to give us a recap as the episode then ends. In this final episode, we are looking at is called Hello Day. Miss Hooley enters the nursery as she greets us. She tells us it's a windy day as she tells us everyone is going to work and school. She heads into the cupboard and pulls out a toy telephone. It then rings as she answers it. She announces her Japanese friend is coming to teach all the kids how to say hello in Japanese. The school bus arrives as all the kids come off. Miss Hooley then sings about having fun. They are messing around with telephones as the toy telephone then goes off. Susie then enters the nursery as Miss Hooley greets her. Miss Hooley tells her hello in many different languages. Susie then moans about Penny as they haven't been getting along. Susie explains Penny has been playing so much music they haven't been talking. Miss Hooley tells her to see Spencer to get her own stereo. The Colored House song then happens once again as we then arrive at the Orange House and see Spencer. Susie enters as Spencer is playing some music. He shows off to Susie as he sings his hello song. Susie then talks about Penny and her stereo as she wants Spencer's. Spencer questions the plan as Susie explains it further. Spencer then gives in and gives it to Susie as she heads back to the shop. Penny is listening to her music as Susie tries to get her attention. A customer then comes in and orders as Penny gets the order wrong as she can't hear her correctly. Susie corrects the order as she then starts listening to her music, trying to annoy Penny. It doesn't work as Susie then thinks about who is good about getting attention. She heads to see Edie as we get the Edie song. When Susie arrives, Edie is making a ton of noise. Edie gets scared as Susie then gives a recap of what has happened so far. Susie says Edie is great at getting people's attention as she wants a horn from her. Edie gives her a couple of horns as she takes the loudest one. Edie then suggests taking Penny to see Miss Hooley and joining in with the Hello Day. Susie heads back to the shop as she finally gets Penny's attention as they head to the Hello Day. At the nursery, the gang are here teaching the kids about hello and the different types of hello from around the world. Miss Hooley's Japanese friend arrives and teaches the kids more. Spencer then sings his song as everyone joins in. Penny admits she has been listening to her stereo for too long as Miss Hooley gives us a little recap as the episode comes to an end. What is there to say about Balamory? It is one of the classics of kids' TV and it lasted for so long because it was so good. Overall, it was a classic of British TV. So thank you for watching. If you have any TV shows you like to see me do, put them in the comments.